Now, I probably wouldn't say this in front of white folk, but in front of y'all, I'm gonna speak my mind. Take it slow.
What's going on, good people? This is Rell from Rell Talk, the podcast. And today I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I'm really not feeling, the energy and the atmosphere, because a lot is going on in America. Black males are getting gunned down, like 40 going north. And then sadly, white Americans have no sympathy. They could care less what's happening to us. You know what I mean? If like a black man is killed and he had a felony arrest 20 years ago, somehow his felony arrest means that he deserves to die today. And that's what I'm seeing a lot on social media. There was actually a site called Stormfront, and it's like a white nationalist website. And I know when you go on these sites, you're going to see very racist rhetoric and material. But I read some stuff today that was ridiculous, because I saw white men and white women saying stuff like, the best Negro is a dead Negro. And, kudos to this officer for doing what should have been done to this man years ago. And this is the brother who died in St. Paul, Minnesota, Philando Castile, who was killed in front of his girlfriend, in front of his daughter in the car, after he told the officer he was a concealed carrier. And the officer asked him to reach for his wallet. And then all of a sudden, the officer realized he was afraid of something. I guess because he was afraid of a black man. And in the midst of him raising his arms back up, this brother was shot. And I'm sure by now y'all have seen the video. It's sad, man. I'm telling y'all, as a grown man, I sat here today and watched this video after watching yesterday's video, and I had no choice but to shed tears, man, because it's open season, and I'm not here to talk about black on black crime. I'm not going to discuss that, man, because that has nothing to do with the price of chicken. It just doesn't. It doesn't. White Americans, they cry every day about the right to carry guns. They cry every day about Obama taking their guns, and we've all seen videos of white Americans out in the street, with their weapons out, and police, after they're scaring people, police are like, hey, listen, put your gun down, and please, they're pretty much, the cops are trying their best to cooperate with them and to disarm them in a very peaceful manner. But then you also see videos of when African American males have guns in the same manner, maybe on drugs or whatever the case may be, and they shoot 100 rounds into these brothers. Literally, cops stand around like it's a what do you call that thing back in the day when they would stand in line and shoot you. That's what it is. And as an African American male, I can't help but see that, and not, I'm not gonna say I fear the police, because I fear no man. But whenever I see the cops behind me, and they pull me over, I can't help sometimes but to think, any movement I make could end my life. Even when I probably have the right to voice my opinion. But for some odd reason, as African Americans, we're not supposed to say anything. White America's like, he should have just complied. Well, this brother in St. Paul, Minnesota was compliant. The brother in Baton Rouge, Louisiana didn't have time to react. And let's be clear, they didn't know the brother in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, can't think of his name, the brother Alton Sterling. They didn't know this brother was a felon until after they killed him. So you can't say that, he was a convicted felon, he deserved to die, because let's be clear, they didn't know he was a convicted felon until they took his life. And what broke my heart even more in both cases was when these brothers were pretty much on their last breath, the officers still had their guns drawn, pointing them at the brothers as if even a dead black man is a threat. And that goes to show you the state of America that we live in right now, because, again, everybody's fearful of black males. If you're raising a black male right now, you got to tell him. You got to tell him the world he lives in. For some odd reason, everybody who's non-black fears us so much. With every chance they get, they try to take us out. I said earlier, a police officer's job is not to make it home safely. His job is to protect and serve. Hopefully he make it home safely, but his job is to protect and serve. You cannot kill every threat that comes your way. It's unfair, because you have a taser. You can call for backup. But with us, we die. We die. And don't come on here talking about white males die, Hispanic males die, Native American males die. Nobody dies the way we die. All right, y'all? So go ahead with that. Nobody dies the way we die. And the funny thing about it is when we die, nobody has sympathy for us. Not a soul. White Americans have zero sympathy for us. They try to think of these excuses of why he deserved to die. The brother, Alton Sterling, they posted his criminal record. The brother, Philando Castile, he worked for a school. Good brother, concealed carrier. And it's so funny that, like I said before, when white Americans, preach for gun laws and Obama trying to take our guns, they're considered patriots. But when black males have the same exact laws and the same exact views, we're thugs. And we should be taken down immediately, as they say. I'm telling y'all right now, man. What I'm going to tell y'all is going to be very extreme, but it's so necessary. We got to stop spending money with people that don't look like us. When these dirty ice cream trucks ride through our communities and sell this sugar to our children, they take our money and they build their own communities and their own businesses. But when a young man is gunned down, either by another young man or by a police officer or whatever, they're not there with us in solidarity. All those corner stores that sit in these ghettos and these projects and these black neighborhoods that are run by Arabs and people that are not black, when something goes down, they're not there in solidarity with us. They don't care what happens with us. They're in their stores with their doors locked saying, don't bring that mess in here. There was an issue in my city the other day where something happened at a hood store, and when a young lady went back in the store and asked about what happened to her little brother, it was nothing major. I think he got cut or something like that. So they went back into the store and it was like, yo, what happened to my little brother? Evidently, the store clerk got nasty with her. And so folks were on Facebook talking about, let's stage a protest. Let's meet up at the store. And I'm like, for what? That's his property. That's his store. He has every right to deny information to y'all. What you do is you don't shop there. Stand at that door, and every person of color that walks through that door, you say, hey, listen, don't spend your money here. And let me tell you why. That's how you get stuff done. When you don't spend money with people, all of a sudden they respect your dollar. All of a sudden they respect your opinion and they respect your community. But when you spend money with people, regardless of how you're treated, they could care less about our community. They could care less how our children are treated. They could care less what happens to us. As Pac said, cops kill a nigga, he's a hero. And that's what these cops are today. They took down another black man. Simple as that. I mean, that's the only way to put it. I mean, the brother in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, father of 5, known as the CD man. Good dude. I mean, so many people have came forward and attested this man's character and said, this man wouldn't hurt a fly. This was a good dude. I mean, he's not perfect, but he's a good dude. Same thing with the brother in St. Paul, Minnesota. Just a good dude. Dead. Both of them. Trying to make a living. Trying to be productive citizens in this place we call America. And it shouldn't surprise any of us, man, because we know what America was founded on. So I'll leave it right there, y'all. As I said before, we got to shut it down. If they don't look like you, don't spend a dime with them. And if they ask why, tell them it's not personal. Tell them you have something that you're working on, and it's very necessary that we keep our dollars. We keep our dollars in our pockets and in our fists at all times. And unless the person on the other side of the register looks like you, they don't get your money. That's how we got to do it. Thank y'all for tuning in to Real Talk, the podcast.